Well, guys, 2026 got underway this week in what has been rather unceremonious circumstances. We've had poor waves. We've had lay days on top of lay days. My fantasy team looks like a graveyard. Welcome back to the Largo Podcast. My name's Finn. I'm joined here, as always, by Zach. Welcome if you're new here. What the hell has happened this last week?
Everyone's been kicked in the nuts, or if you're a female, you've been flicked in the tit because fantasy is already over before it started.
Yes. Unless your name's Finn and there's stakes on the line. I've been planning Zach's board spray that I'll be doing, and it's gonna be good.
So for anyone who doesn't know what you're talking about there, whoever loses the fantasy out of yourself and I, whoever has the least amount of points when the bell has been rung, the loser will get a spray. I'm not going to call it a good spray.
No,
unless you've got a good spray.
No. It's absolutely on purpose an awful spray.
Okay, fantastic. So a good spray of yours.
Yeah, one of my best. But yeah, no, let's get into it because what a shit show this start of this event's been. They had a lay day one, cited by potentially some poor preparation on the production's behalf, maybe some wires not being laid in their appropriate spot, meaning that a full day of competition not readily available to the WSL. Winky was pretty good. There was good waves running down the line there, plenty of people free surfing. I think it actually caught everyone by surprise, hence why wires weren't laid. It's a wire-based issue. And we were without surfing on the opening day of the year, which realistically is a bit of a misfire because if you want to start the season with a bang, probably if good waves are available, good to tap into those.
Yeah, I think everyone's had 7 months off from pro surfing. You wake up to, I just had a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep that in.
We will.
7 months off, the waiting period opens up. You met with people's Instagram showing the lineup. It's glassy, beautiful sunrise, 3 to 4 feet.
Yep.
Not Hawaiian, just Aussie.
Yep.
Everyone was kind of thinking, okay, sure, it's going to run. It's off, is what we found with ourselves with.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I kind of come upon this was I was actually at work and a friend of mine said, you guys have to have a look at the waves.
Yeah.
And they've called it off. And I went, interesting. Inspector Gadget, Inspector Largo jumped on. And sure enough, looked fun from where I was sitting on my phone at work.
Tell you what, it looked an awful lot better than the waves they did run in.
Yeah, so let's get into it. What a shit show to kick off with. It is a tire deflator. Like when you have that much time off to then run on Good Friday afternoon in waves that most people probably wouldn't surf if you were free surfing.
Yep.
Like for example, if the comp wasn't on, you'd probably find only a handful of guys out there. It wasn't that good. It just feels kind of shit to wait all that time, have a whole season off and just get underway in scrappy, slow, shitty surf, which was pretty well, no one capitalized in those conditions too much.
No.
We had some people that looked solid, but it was pretty mundane surfing.
Yeah.
Nothing to discredit the boys and girls.
No.
But the waves were shit out.
The canvas wasn't there.
No.
Wasn't there. We had opening 2 days off. Were lay days, I believe.
Wednesday, Thursday, lay days, and then into Good Friday.
Good Friday, we ran a few heats.
Caught me by surprise. They started at like 5 p.m.
They called it off for a 4:30 call, I believe, meaning like I guess the idea was let's just run the opening men's round, get those 4 heats out of the way, which they did. But God, going on hold until 4:30 to run 4 heats.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem worth the squeeze, does it? Like, surely you just tuck them on a later day, you know, when the waves are going to be better. To be fair, probably the best waves they've had of the window so far were those last 4 heats of the day. So, I mean, sure, but yeah, it seems that like to have the whole day waiting. I guess I get the appeal of running on Good Friday and over the Easter long weekend is always there. Got to get people down there, and by having some heats in the afternoon, you probably keep some of the people down at the event site looking at what's going on, expression sessions, all that.
It doesn't help when it's freezing cold,
Nah.
howling on shore, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think there's that many people hanging around for that.
Yeah.
So I did hear last year when I was down there, because last year it didn't run over any of the public holidays. And there was some, we'll call them councillors or state members, whoever they were, not entirely happy with that, because obviously so much of the revenue is probably based on numbers that are produced previously throughout the years off those days.
Yep.
So to not run on any of them, bit of a kick in the guts to someone who's, setting up a food vended van or something like that.
Yep.
They've pretty well gone and done it again. So, but at the end of the day, the waves look pretty shit. So who are we to kind of, throw shit on them?
Yeah. Yep. Well, they ran those 4 heats. We'll get into a bit more of an analysis of the heats in a second. They then go into Easter Saturday. Is that what they call it? Easter Saturday?
Easter Saturday, yep.
Run significantly more heats that day. Actually, a much better day of competition. Ran the entire ladies opening round, which I believe is 8 heats. Got all of that done. And then tapped into like the couple of men's heats as well. And then from there, we went into the next day where they ran bugger all again, 2 to 4 heats. Called it off with a tie, which I think everyone knew was going to happen. I ideally, they were going to move to Winky Pop at some stage, but I think they just saw the winds were crook and just went, there's no point. Called off for the rest of the day. We then go into 2 consecutive lay days, which we are currently on the second of which now. This will be released tomorrow. So looking like we might get some competition underway again tomorrow, which is good. We're excited. The waves do look better. Probably maybe the best day of the window so far. But in saying that, not overly spectacular at the same time. We're going to go through and do our picks again. Not fantasy or anything, but we'll go through all the heats and say who we think's going to win. It may come in handy for certain activities you might be doing. I'm not sure. But let's get into the first day. So men's opening round, we run 4 heats in pretty junky bells. Solid though. Definitely some punch in that lineup. What was your takeaway from that day of surfing, Zach?
Just before we get into that, Chris Cote did ask, is the warm-up sessions applicable to choosing your fantasy team, which we spoke about on the pod last week? I believe he said no. You don't think there's too much correlation there?
I don't look too deeply into it, no.
Yep. So from Monday onwards, I think it was even Sunday onwards, I was waking up, doing some stretching and popping on YouTube and going through everyone who's putting up warm-up clips. And after a few days of watching, I really kind of got to see how everyone's looking after time off. A few shocks, a few surprises, a few not surprises. And I was telling myself from Monday to Wednesday that I would rechange my team. I'd shake it up a little bit. Forgot and paid for it. Absolutely paid for it. I even had moments I was like, oh yeah, nah, throw him out. Like, nah, not putting him in, not putting her out. I never got around to doing it because it was always just felt so long away.
Yeah.
I'm a big yes for does it matter? I think it does. I think watching pre-event warm-ups definitely gives you a little bit of an inside scoop on who's looking good, who's looking like they're still figuring out boards, yada, yada, yada. I was super sure that Carissa and Steph were going to be pretty well, at least quarters. I watched the warm-up and I did see that Steph looked a little bit slow and unsettled and Carissa looked the same. We'll get into those results soon, and then I don't want to sound like the bloke who's like, oh, I could have, like, I saw it coming, like the end of the world kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I looked at Nat and I was like, whoa, she is actually surfing much better than I thought. And I was like, yep, I'm going to throw her in. Never got around to it. Moral of the story, paid for it now. Pretty well. I'm on the bottom of the fantasy team.
Yeah.
Which is a long way now that we've got 2,000 members. Yep. I think I'm 1,999th. So I've learnt that I'm not going to be choosing any more teams until there's at least 1 or 2 warm-up clips posted.
Yep.
Because, paying for it this time. But, let's get into round 1, heat 1. Matthias Hurdy, Lobby. Very close total in the end. Matthias with 13.80. Lobby with 13.24. So it wasn't too much in the tail end.
No, but it was, I feel like a lot of this heat was decided at the beginning. A few early mistakes from Lob. Kind of sounds weird to suggest that a couple of middling scores can put you in a really good position in a heat, but in this scenario, it actually was the case. Matthias starts off early, gets a 4-5 off the bat on a pretty junky wave, the very opening wave of the season, and it felt, I was saying to Harry, I was like, this feels like a 5, and it was a 4-5. Exactly. It was like the perfect score to just start the season. Just a middle of the road wave, throw it a 5, and they pretty much did. 4-5. Gets that on the board, then paddles back out. Lob's sitting there with priority, takes the first wave of the set, which, as we've discussed at length, at Bells, generally a bit of a no-no. You want to be on the second wave of the set, and sure enough, Lob goes that one, 4-8-3, Matthias on the one behind at 5.5. And from there, Lobby just never seemed to be in the heat. Every time he made a bit of a progression forward, Matthias was right there behind him, getting something higher. Even then, after Matthias is 5-5, takes a smaller one, Lobs out the back priority, lets one go, which when you're surfing a point break or some like a longer wave, sometimes it is hard to tell what a wave's going to do on the inside. Lets a big whitewash burger go, and he's probably 30 meters further out than Matthias. Matthias swings on it, gets a 7, and that's pretty much the heat right there and then.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
No.
One thing to point out, both gentlemen look very solid.
There
wasn't any like first event nerves that seemed to be coming through their surfing. Looked super solid on their boards. Didn't look like there was much bobbling or like the nerves coming through.
Yeah.
I thought Matthias for sure would have had some nerves because there's so much hype around him. Like he finally got there. He was, this prodigy coming out of Brazil. I kind of thought maybe first event, maybe even the first couple events, he might just feel a little unsettled and it'll be a slow burner.
Yeah.
He looked really good. Looked solid, and kind of he didn't make it, but was showing surfing like pushing the envelope. Like wasn't safe surfing. Unfortunately, didn't land the turn that I'm referring to, where he kind of throws it into reverse on a big section. To see that early on, really exciting stuff. There could be something there that we could be in for a year of explosive surfing from Matthias.
100%. I feel like he's actually added an extra level of polish to his rail surfing too. The thing that impressed me most about in this heat was that he didn't take to the air once, apart from that one you suggesting, but it didn't count in his scores. He didn't land it.
Don't think you'd call it really an air-ish.
Nah, but like it would never, you could just see it didn't even cross his mind. He wasn't searching for section. He was just going, I'm going to surf a wave for what it's giving me, and turned in 13, nearly 14 points on the rail, which for him would be a massive confidence booster, because probably his biggest criticism is that his turns aren't overly meaty compared to some of the other guys on tour. And to do that at Bells in your first event on tour, proper event, obviously we know he's had wildcards, but he'd be taking a lot of confidence from that. And with Yago Dora in the next round, potentially it's at sort of fun side Winky Pop tomorrow, but it'll be today if you're listening on the day, if that makes sense. But yeah, he could be a real danger man for Yago in that round. Let's get on to Heat 2 though. Similar story here, although just Oscar never really got started. So Dane Henry versus Oscar Berry in this one. Really junky, gross conditions. For whatever reason, this heat felt particularly bad. I think it's maybe just the limited opportunity that Oscar had to get scores. I don't think
Oscar pulled the trigger. He had 2 very poor scores. Yeah. I think it was a 3 and a 2.
Yeah.
And then he didn't pull the trigger again until like 13 minutes in by memory. So it just went to pass, really.
Yeah.
There was nothing substantial coming through. And it's such a shame because you want to see those tit for tat battles, especially at Bells. Like it's a longer wave.
Yeah.
Definitely not the case for this one.
No. So Oscar ends up 6.3 heat total, which for him, he's not going to have to take much away from. It's just a forget run for him. You let that one go out the back door and you refocus for Margies. He's in high spirits. Had a chat to him in the DMs this week and he's ready to go for Margies. He can look at that as his opening event. Doesn't have to worry too much about this. Waves went on his side. It very much was similar to the first heat. if you get on the right side of the lineup to begin with, it can set you up well for the heat. And Dane was just everywhere, really. Opens up 7-8-3. From that point, it's going to be pretty hard to beat him in those waves. You know, for Oscar, he has a couple of small scores before that. Dane, couple like less than ones, but 7-8-3 gets a 5-8-3 afterwards. Really paying his opening turns. Like the 5-8-3, I believe, was just one turn pretty much. It's just one big layback snap on the outside, and they nearly threw it a 6, which I guess if you're a competitor in the event, you look at that and go, all right, well, let's try and focus all of our energy out the back and then see what happens afterwards. But
I kind of thought they went a little high on Dano.
I thought it was a touch high, but I could understand the thinking. And look, to be fair, wherever they went with that score, it wouldn't have mattered because
100%. Yeah,
he was going to win that heat.
He was the best surfer in the heat
for sure. The 7-8-3 though was, I actually really appreciated how well he was able to hold his rails. Similarly to Mateus, I thought the bumpy lineup might cause him a bit of harm, and it didn't seem to. He looked really solid on his feet. Board looked good, so happy to call it there and say that's a nearly an excellent score. Dane progresses through that one. Heat 3, Luke Thompson, Ramsey Bookham. This one got going again. This was probably more similar to Heat 1. Guys,
this one had a bit of tit for tat.
Yeah,
had moments.
Both guys getting scores, a few lead changes. Lukey T, first wave on tour as a full-time surfer, a 7-point ride. It's a pretty good start.
That's got to put a bit of air in your tyres,
I think so.
Bit of a bunger up the arse.
Yeah. Ramzo, though, didn't shy away. Got a 4, then put on about 11 points. A 6-1-7 and a 5-8-3, or 12 points even.
Just as it started to look like it wasn't going to go his way, he had one, he belted the absolute fuck out of it, and I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. So I believe that was his 6-1-7, and then I went, okay, he's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just looked like Luke had the speed and flow around those sections. You know, and it's just so hard to match the pace of the wave there because it's either slow on the inside and then it's all gas out the back when it's crumbly and shitty like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt that Luke had the upper edge there on the forehand just to read it a little nicer.
Yeah, and to be fair, Luke was only left needing a 5 in the closing sort of 10 to 15 minutes of the heat, which he's probably always going to get. Ramsey put up 12 points, which is pretty decent in those waves, but when your competitor's got a 7, then they need a 5, he probably needed to do a touch more, and as it figured out, Luke got a 7.67 on his final wave of the heat and really put it to him. 14.67 round 1 heat total for him is going to do him a world of good confidence-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Heat 4, this was like the hardest heat to get a gauge on because I didn't know.
It was the hardest heat to know who to go for.
Yeah.
2 good mates and you're just like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah.
You're hooting and harring for both, but you're like, oh, fuck. Like, someone has to lose. This is a tough one to watch. And it could have gone almost either way.
Yeah.
And
it was kind of, Zave just, I guess, used his local knowledge to his advantage there and was on the better waves. It really was like Cal was so locked in. We only had him in the studio like a week or 2 ago, you know, and he was so locked in. And it's similar to Oscar. It's just a forgive run. You just let him go through and you come back at marks because there's not a whole awful lot he could do there. He fought back really strongly at the end of the heat. He got a 6, like a mid-6 towards the end, which got him back in. And he was left needing sort of like another 6 or so to...
The thing what scared me was he actually got away with like 5 seconds to go. And I was like, fuck, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Yeah, I know.
And I went, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to get the trifecta.
Yeah.
And then it just ran away. And when I saw him dive off, I was like, what just happened? Like, we're so used to seeing Cal stand up with either 10 seconds to go, 5 seconds to go, or 1 second to go, and actually getting the score. So when I saw him stand up, I was like, oh, fuck, Zave. She's all over, mate. Like, been here before.
Yeah, no,
didn't come to fruition for him.
Zave put together a really strong heat, like 6 early, which again sets you up pretty well with a 6-point ride. Backs it up much later in the heat. It was 6-7-7. It's gonna go an awful long way. Like I say, Ramsey loses with 12 points in the heat before. I think that's like just on the borderline of where you want to be, like closer to 13 where Zave is. That's right on the money. I think if you're getting 14 points or 13 points, sorry, you're gonna probably be close to making a lot of these heats.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into the ladies then.
Yeah.
So this was the day after this is the most complete day of surfing we've had.
Yeah.
Started off with the best heat ever at Bells.
Was it?
What? The best heat I've ever seen.
Fucking hell, I'm just going to say it like it is. That was just a hard watch from the whole round.
It went exactly how we thought it would in regards to Heat 1. They'd both be battling each other, and then Sally's local knowledge would prevail.
Sally actually looked really good in that.
She got a 7.
I've been pretty critical of her, but fuck, like she actually looked really good.
She looked solid, just picking the right waves. She got that one really good one, nailed it for a 7, and that was enough to get over Yolanda. I think we're going to have a lot of this from Yolanda this year, like sort of 10-point heat totals. That
I think I said it last episode. Yolanda's going to have the same year that Nadia Aristabe had last year.
Yeah.
I don't think she made a whole heat. Like, we'll get to it soon, but Heat 4, Bella Kenworthy, Nadia Aristabe, that's her first heat win ever.
on tour.
On tour.
Yeah.
So I've just got a sneaky suspicion. I've actually got a strong suspicion that that's how it's going to play out for Yolanda based upon how she looks against the rest of these girls. Technically, I don't even think it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I watched back a few of those. She did like a 3-turner, and there was a middle turn in there, and I was like, that's just not at this level. I'm sorry. I think she's incredibly smart, and that's what got her through the Challenger so commandingly. But if we're going to see waves where it's going to be pumping, then I feel like she's going to be exposed.
Yeah. Heat 2, Tia Zabrowski, the golden girl, goes down.
What the fuck happened here?
I'll tell you what happened here. Alyssa Spencer clutched up at the end and got nearly a mid-8.
I'm actually like spewing because I picked Tia in my team, but like so good to see Alyssa fucking surf the way she did.
Yeah, the back end's on. I kind of looked like it was on at the last event at Newcastle, and we probably suspected the right points were going to be where she was going to jag her results. Really tough round 1 matchup for her here. Probably, I mean, other than you've got Carissa and Steph, although I don't know if Steph's as much of a factor as she used to be, but Tia's probably one of the harder matchups you can get, and to get it done on the final wave, needing a big score, I think is really, really quite impressive from Alyssa, and she moves on into the bracket round.
What a confidence booster too.
Yeah.
Like, it is shit to get a draw like that, but if you can stay composed and go, it's just an opportunity to beat one of the harder people early up so that they're gone.
Yeah.
Mate, she's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
She was another one that I saw in the free surfs, and I was like, holy shit, it was her and a Nat. Yeah. And I don't want to be that guy. Like, I found it up first. I knew it. I saw it coming. I saw the end.
Yeah.
But she did look really good.
Yes, she did. And we end up with a really juicy backhand matchup in the bracket round with Caroline Marks and Alyssa Spencer.
Yeah, it's going to be heated.
And I think I'd be having a little sniff at Alyssa in that one, I reckon. I feel like she's going to be the underdog in that heat, but I wouldn't put it past her to get it done.
Another thing is, she's actually had a heat.
Yes.
Where half of the fucking field right now haven't even put the rashi on, and they've been there for a week.
100%.
So that must, I don't know, it's either good or I think it'd be bad, because you've got that level of like the optimum level of anxiety and arousal. You can't hold that for fucking 12 days.
Nah, for sure.
You're kind of going in. You've had 7 months to dial it in. You're finally inside the waiting period. You would like to tap into that.
Yeah, but then you look at Alyssa now. She's surfed that heat. She's had 3 or 4 days off. So she's gone up and down, and then she's up again.
True.
Like it could have that effect, So heat 3, Francisca Vaselko beats Brissa Hennessy. Got to say, in her first World Tour appearance, Francisca looked really good. She looked solid. A couple mid-6 and a 6 flat in that heat, 12.67 heat total. She was by far the superior surfer in that heat in those conditions. Brissa didn't really get much going her way. She has surfed really well at Bells before and has dropped some really large scores. I think more so she needs a bigger wall and some better conditions to get going though.
I heard on the broadcast this is her like 8th year.
She's been around, bro. I
just can't believe that.
Yeah.
Brissa Hennessy has been on tour for 8 years.
Seth Moniz has been on tour for
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So old.
Yeah.
And we're the new guys on the block. Holy fuck.
It's crazy.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, surely not. And I went back and I was like, okay. Okay.
No, Francisca looked right at home.
Yep.
Only took off in 4 ways. 2 of them were above 6, and yeah, she dispatches of Brissa early on there. Heat 4, Bella Camwary, Nadia Aristabe. Bella, to be fair to her, she actually looked much better this year, I thought, in her actual surfing. I know last year she was wearing a knee brace, and she may still be wearing it. It's covered up by a wetsuit, potentially, but she had some strapping on her knee. I just thought she looked like a more composed version of herself this year, maybe a little bit bigger and stronger, but she looked good. The only thing was she came up against Nadia, who managed to get herself a 6.5. Her backhand looked really good.
It hurts to say, but yeah, I agree.
It looked solid, man.
It shouldn't hurt to say. I'm very sorry, Nadia.
Yeah.
She looked really good.
Mhm.
There was one turn that she actually threw a bucket load of spray, and it was right in the pocket.
Yep.
I went, I'm going to have to eat some words.
Nadia looked...
No, fucking good on her. Like I said, I'm all for like people to prove me wrong, and she's starting to prove me wrong. This could be her like Isabella Nichols year. I feel like Izzy kind of went dormant for a bit, and now she's kind of kicking ass. So.
Well, I mean, she's made 1 heat. Maybe she'll make 2, and you never know. Like, she gets that backhand going. She could find herself late into the draw. I don't think she's winning the comp, but she could make a few heats here.
Yeah. It's not I don't think it's about winning for her at this point. Obviously, that's the icing on the cake, but
Ideally, you win, but
no, I just think
not always
if
the
I was
case.
a coach, I'd just be going for just get to that healthy baseline.
Yeah.
She hasn't really established that baseline of like, okay, she's a mid-pack kind of... You can't go from last to first.
No.
Well, maybe you can, but unlikely. So
Probably
I think
not
this
gonna
year for her is probably just establishing a strong baseline. And if you're going to be there for 3 to 5 years, like, do the Julian Wilson approach that Kingy had for him. Like, it's a 5-year fucking goal to get to the top.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Heat
That's,
5. This
that's my
one...
part.
This one broke me heart slightly because Vaheen Fierro looked really bloody good.
Mm.
And I had her in my fantasy team. And she dropped a 6.5 pretty early on. And I was going, and that's got nothing. I'm sweet. But to be absolutely fair to Nat, she came out and got one of the better looking waves of the heat, and she did not miss on it.
Nah.
8.33. I just went, I'm in trouble here, and she backed up with a 5.5 later on, and that was all she wrote. Like at 13, Vaheen lost with a 13.5 heat total, which is a very respectable heat total, and that looked really good.
So Fahim would have won every other heat.
Yeah.
Other than Alyssa Spencer's heat.
Yep, correct.
So, yeah, they're hard. They're hard pills to swallow.
But you can't take anything away from Manat because she capitalized on the opportunity that she was given. I think Vaheen, her backhand's really good, and I think it can happen at Bells. You can find yourself on just in that rotation where you're not constantly getting good waves. You're on the lesser waves, and Nat was on that really good one. But Vaheen looked solid. I think she could be in for a decent year if she can make it out of round 1. Like she can get through a couple of heats and get a bit of confidence back, because that's got to hurt you a little bit looking at the draw, going, oh god, like I would have literally won any other heat. And for her now, she's got to go back to the drawing board, get over to Margie's and reset.
And that looks hungry.
Yeah, she looks really good, and someone that I haven't paid an awful amount of attention to, and I think probably it was definitely warranted, the score that she got, but I think it surprised everyone. Just went, wow, like we've got to go excellent here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen her ceiling, I don't think, either. I think she's got a bit more in the tank, but geez, she unloaded on that wave, and yeah, she kind of left the judges no option.
She went to social media, like she actually did. I was waiting for her to touch on the political side of things, obviously.
Yeah.
And the Israeli flag. It's going to be hard for her not to comment.
Yeah.
She'd have to be getting some
She's
shit.
getting pizzle, right? It's such piss poor form from the crew that are doing it. Like, it's not her fault.
No, and she addressed it really well. Pretty much saying, I'm proud of my people, but not proud of my country's leaders' decisions.
Yeah.
But I reckon that's feeding her fire. I reckon she's like, fuck you, Steve Smith.
Steve Smith?
No, I'm just trying to think of a generic name. Like a
Steve
random
from
name.
sales at friggin'
Like Steve-O977 and his photos like his dog.
Yeah.
Back in 2000.
His dog in front of like a VB carton with like sunglasses on or something.
Exactly my point. Yeah. I reckon she's like, fuck you, Steve-O.
Yeah.
here's how I got here,
Yeah.
and here's why I'm staying. I reckon it's actually feeding her fire.
Yeah. No, and good on her. Good on her.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Heat 6, Carissa Moore, Sawyer Lindblad.
This is a hard watch.
Shaky one. She got it done though. Sawyer had a 6, but was only able to back it up with a 2.
That's all what got her, really.
Yeah.
She looked like the better surfer.
Carissa did have a 7.5, to be fair. I think she's just, again, maybe a few cobwebs that she's got to dust off before she's back
100%.
into it. It's not prime Carissa conditions as well. I don't think it's going to be the Carissa of old where, like, every heat she's going to be like a heavy favourite.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's going to be some heats there where the conditions aren't great and you can probably look around her and go, hey, like, she's probably not, she's a little bit prone here to maybe getting beaten because the waves aren't amazing. As soon as the bowl lights up or the waves are good, she's going to be really difficult to beat. But I think you can probably look around her for your fantasy players or whatever when the forecast is looking less than ideal with some people that are in a heat, because she's definitely not as sharp as she used to be, I don't think.
No.
Just judging from first heat, it's hard to say.
Fuck, like, you'd have to think taking time off and having kids and spending time with your family, like, no duh.
But
like,
she's gotten older and there's a young crop coming through. Like, it's just, that's how it is. She's going to come up against some crew that are much younger and probably a little bit more agile, and that's just how it's going to be.
How's the reel that Gabby Bryant made, though?
Yeah,
You said, oh my God.
It was pretty funny.
That was a hard watch. That was harder to watch.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
What were your takeaways from it? What did you not like about it? Tell the listeners, talk the listeners through the reel.
I don't know. It was kind of just like, look at me.
She's probably literally.
I guess we're fucking blasting our face on the internet.
I think they're just like, that's probably her hero to an extent too, Carissa, and I think they're quite good friends growing up in Hawaii.
So you'd think so.
I think
Anyway.
let her go, Zach. Let her live, mate.
Yeah, but I don't want to inflate anyone's tires. It was just funny.
No,
but you'd have to start to think Carissa's now had a bit of an epiphany. Like, okay, this might be a little harder than I thought.
yeah. Mind
Maybe
you,
she was already thinking that.
7.5, one of the biggest scores of the day. So we can't like rinse her too much.
It's very early on.
It's very early on. It's more from the perspective of, I don't think we're getting the Carissa who won multiple world titles. We might have the one that's like maybe a step down from them, which is going to be good enough.
Carissa 2.0.
Maybe Carissa 2.0. And
Which
it's going to
we're
be
okay with.
It's going to be good enough for.
We did a year of Philippe 2.0 and now we're okay with it.
Yeah.
It was a shock at first, but we're here now and we're back on the Philippe program.
100%. And she's going to make it deep into event draws. I'm not saying she's going to be losing first heat. It's just going to be, she might be a little bit more prone to losing some heats against some people you might not expect now. I think it's going to be not all like lights out performances from her. 100%.
Yeah.
It might be $1.80 now, rather than $1.40.
Talk about the next heat.
Oh,
My
speaking of
goodness me.
2.0s, like this was bad, and I think
She looks noticeably different.
we might have seen this coming potentially, like you touched on from the warm up surf. She wasn't looking incredible, which we always expect from Steph.
I think it's motivation. I just don't think she has the motivation to want to go out shitty fucking Bell's Bowl.
Nah, and it's going to be very much a conditions based year for her. I think if we get a lot of tour stops where the conditions are bad, she's going to struggle.
I'm going to go one further.
Oh no, you're not going to drop her off tour, are you?
No, I reckon she'll, like, injury, wild card it. Niggling knee. I'm not going to fucking Rio if it's 1 foot and shit.
Okay.
I'll go to the next one.
Yep. I don't.
Like, she can. Fucking hat off to her. Like, there's only one person, maybe two, in the field that you'd be like, that's OG. Mad respect. Let her do it. And that's Steph.
Yeah.
I just don't think she's super keen.
Well, look, you'd see Luana Silva and you see Steph Gilmore in a heat draw and you go, Steph should be winning that heat pretty convincingly. But Luana showed shades of what she did last year, which got her all the way to the final.
Most
And
definitely. Very similar conditions too.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit smaller. But yeah, she navigated that tricky lineup exceptionally well. So bravo to Luana Silva for sure.
Very, very good showing from her. And again, not the highest heat total of the round, but again,
That's all it needed to be.
she did enough to beat Steph and came in and posted quite a nice little tribute to Steph. when she on her Instagram, just going, "This was my hero from when I was younger," and posted a photo of her when she was much younger. So
That's a flex. That's not a. That's a flex.
no,
every
it's like
day.
homage
That is
to.
the biggest
Oh
flex.
my god, you're such a cynic, aren't you? You're like you're a little conspiracy theorist sat in the corner. I love it.
That's like a little giggle. Oh, she's my dream. Beat ya. Boom.
All right, well, you can read it that way. I read it the more wholesome, like, thank you for being here and
Sure.
having the opportunity to beat you.
See, now you're coming to my side.
No. I think it was nice.
So you can say that over a coffee. Not to 20,000 followers.
Yeah, righto. Last heat of the round, though. Lakey Peterson, Ellie Harrison. Tell you what, neither of these surfers wanted to win this heat. It was like, who can give priority back to the other person the most times?
Hot potato.
Ellie looked so sharp early on. She got a 6 Dane Henry spec to just doing one turn. Like one turn, 6-point ride. And you're just going, fire it. She's going to find one in a second with 3 turns, and it's going to be 7.5 plus. Lakey's going to be packing her bags some Margies, and Ellie's going to be moving on to the second round, but it just didn't happen. I think there was a moment, so I believe it was Lakey. Can't remember which one it was, but it doesn't really matter for the story. Ellie jumps off ski. Lakey's out there with priority, takes a poor one. Ellie gets priority. Then I'm pretty sure Ellie paddled for a wave, misses it. Lakey gets priority back. And then it just went back and forth. And they just kept taking bad waves or paddling and missing waves. And it changed, honestly. I've never seen priority change that much within the space of...
Priority judge's arms look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. And then the way it turned out with all those priority errors and switch back and forth was that Lakey ended up with priority on like the 4th wave of a set. And it was the one that ran through, and she was able to juice a bit of a score and get herself right out in front. And just Ellie, nothing even remotely close came for that either. Ellie had a couple of smaller scores towards the end of the heat, but just nothing with any scoring potential.
I feel like that would have disrupted a few fantasies as well.
Yeah, well, a lot of people would have had Ellie in their team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think many people would have had Lakey. All right, let's move into the first half of the men's bracket stage that ran on Sunday, I believe.
It all fucking blurs into one when they do this.
Sunday. They ran.
Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday, they ran... fucked it, because it wasn't. It was...
Sunday. It was Sunday.
No, they didn't even run the whole heat. No, they ran... I think they ran Miggy and Ethan.
Oh, then they finished.
They finished. Is that right? And then Geordie and Luke Thompson paddled out first.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the men's round 2 bracket stage of the draw. We saw Miguel Pupo and Joel Vaughan.
The man with the best smile on the tour.
100% $1 million smile Pupo. And Ethan Ewing, George Pittard, they capped off the second day of the event window. They kind of finished off on the other end of the ladies' draw. We only got 2 heats in before they pulled the pin.
Edged us.
Yeah, let's move into Miggy and Joel's heat first, though. Tell you what, someone who made maybe a slight financial investment on Miguel Pupo in this heat, bit concerning to start. Looked like his board just had soap on it. Genuinely, it was like a couple of his first waves were just really bad. Joel started off really good. 6-point ride. Looked sharp. Just in the conditions, it was pretty burgery.
Truthfully, I didn't watch this, so this is all you.
Yeah, no, I'll take the reins here. Pretty burgery. And Joel was someone who I actually initially had going well in this event.
As did I.
Yeah. Just saw that it had become quite fat, and I just know Miguel's record out here over the past few years has been really good. He's had some really, really high scores, and I just thought if he connected with one of those steeper Bells walls, it was going to be a really easy score for him to jag. If he could do 2 turns on a wave out the back, it was going to score really highly. Joel got a bit grindy and got a 6 on a mid-sized wave, and at that point I was going, well, like this, he's doing that on a small wave. If he gets a big one, he's going to be sweet too, but Miguel figured out his troubles about midway through the heat. Board ended up looking really good, and he went back-to-back 6-6-7 into a 7-5. Looked really sharp, polished backhands, looking as good as ever, and just made it very, very difficult for Joel to progress through this one. Joel finished off the heat with a 6 as well, but just 14 points from Miguel was enough to get him through.
I feel like Joel losing out in that heat would have, again, kicked many scrotums.
Yeah, it definitely did. Many people would have picked it. And it goes back to that bracket stage. He looks like in the bracket he was going to be a pretty good shot, especially with this next heat. Ethan Ewing, George Pittar. George gets the chockies here.
Yeah, and there's a bit of history.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It felt like the commentators were referencing our reel that we made not too long ago.
What, you reckon they were just dropping it in there?
I reckon there was a lot of focus on that particular heat.
Yeah.
Now, they have all the back-end stats on a piece of paper, so could be talking out my absolute wazoo right now.
Yeah, and just so you know as well, Zach, I don't have these stats in some secret record. I have to go.
You're just genuinely horny for surfing.
I go looking for them on their website, so there's every chance they're getting them from the same place.
True.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Go on.
that's what we were thinking. That's what I was thinking.
That's what you were thinking. Wishful thinking, but I like it. I like the positivity.
I think George would have to be feeling good that he got that one over Ethan, because that last one stung.
100%. Both start off, again, it was a bit of a back and forth draw at the start. George got a 5.17. Ethan got a 6.17 on the opening ride. So separated by a point. It looked at that point that Ethan may do what he does, wait out the back for the bomb, get the 7 or the 8 that he would have needed and close the heat out. But he just let George get a little bit far away from him, and under priority, I believe it was under priority. Or no, that was later in the heat. I think George had priority on this one, but just snuck away, found himself a 7.67 on a wave that just really kept giving him sections. He picks the eyeballs out of this lineup, and it probably is what saw him sort of register a couple of nice heat totals here in the past. He can just pick really good waves, and the ones that stand up and keep giving you sections. He's not doing too many cutties on the way through. It's really snappy surfing, and it's a point of difference for him, because there's a lot of guys doing roundhouses and slower turns.
I call them filler turns.
Yeah,
there's a lot of filler turns at Bell's Bowl.
100%, a lot of filler turns. Whereas George just going up through the lip multiple times, and they have to score it because it's just such scoreable surfing.
Yeah, the flow's there.
He gets to the lip at the perfect time as well. It's like a little explosion every time he hits the lip. Perfect timing, 7.67, and with that slow lineup there, when George got the first really significant score of the heat, that's when you started going, oh, hang on, there's a little bit more to play out here, and Ethan gets his backup, which is he has pocket 6.17s in this heat, but under priority at the end of the heat, George sneaks away, and I know for a fact this one was under priority because Ethan needed pretty much the exact same score that George got on this wave. It wasn't much. Like, I think he needed a high 6, and George got that high 6. He got a 6.9, but again, just picking the eyeballs out of it. Ethan was too far out. George picked it up underneath him, and yeah, that was it. And you kind of just thought it was going to turn. You're just waiting for Ethan to just pick that 8-pointer up, and it just never came. Even at the end, he gets that last one and does that huge first turn, and just like, oh, here it comes, and then just nothing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, and it went sleepy.
Yeah.
But then the inside kind of gave him a little bit to work with.
George's one.
Oh, was that George's one? I remember one of the two absolutely belting the shit out of, like, the part that is mostly just absolute garbage and dribble. Yeah, it actually had a little bit to play with.
Yeah, it was George's last one that Ethan sort of let go. And
right.
He did a couple nice turns out the back, and then it went sleepy, and then it just gave him the full bloody full wall on the inside that just kept throwing sections at him. So
yeah, I think was that probably
and Gary Point spec just throwing sections at him.
Yeah, you'd have to think that was that point of difference to give him the edge. Like, there's nothing worse than finishing your wave at Bells, and it's just you race, and then foam climb on the bricks there. It's like, oh, that's pretty fucked. To actually get one or two, it was like 3 or 4 genuine turns on the inside, right?
100%. It was good. It was really good, like well-surfed wave, and Ethan should have been on it, and he wasn't. So Ethan cops his first court loss there before the quarterfinals, I think, since his rookie season.
That's incredible.
So 4 years on the trot, he's at least made the quarters, and this year he bows out in the second round, which
Which is the first round.
which is the first round for him, and fantasy teams the world over cry.
I had EV charging on him. I had him as the winner. I've got him as the fucking world title winner.
You had him as the ×2. I didn't, which is why I'm so cocky about winning this board
I'm
spread
going
challenge.
so fucking horrendously.
Mm,
Do you know how bad I'm going?
tell me.
I picked 2 people in the same fucking round 1 heat.
Which we discussed. I couldn't have explained it any more to you.
You couldn't have made it any easier for me, and I still fucked it.
Yeah.
We talked about it before we recorded last week. Finley goes, hey, like, have you checked that you haven't got any double ups? I'm like, oh, shit, no, I haven't. Went on, and I updated the notes that we were about to talk to and made them all nice. Never went back to put the notes onto the WSL Fantasy website. Never made it. And I ran with it. And then I went, I'll go change it. Event had started. I look and I picked Sawyer Limbad and Carissa Moore, and they're in the first heat together.
Insane.
Well done, Zach.
Insane. Yeah, for so much being at stake on this too.
I know.
You've taken it very lightly.
And I'll be honest, I'll shed a little bit of insight to how I'm feeling. Last year was an embarrassing result for me, fantasy-wise. Like, we need to bring credibility to this podcast.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're just two dipshits sweating their ball bag off in a shed right now.
100%.
Which I'm okay with. That's okay. So there actually is a little bit of a beam up on it. I'm like, I got to at least be mid-pack or high-pack. Like, we got to know what we're talking about. And then I kick shit off like this, and I'm like, I'm just back to square one.
Yeah, no, it's I was having a shocker and I was worried, but then I looked at who you were left with, and I immediately felt better. So I guess I want to finish highly in this league for the sake of backing up what we're saying. But most importantly, I'd like to beat you at least most of these events, because I don't want to do some of the challenges that have been.
I've already got a challenge for you. It might take me a few events to get there.
Right.
You might be a bit older.
You can't just pick and choose when the challenge arises, though.
No, I've got a challenge for you when I win an event.
Ah, right. Okay.
That it will be happening.
Okay. Yep. All right. Let's go from there.
The big bruise.
Event finishes for the day. We come back the next day. It is pretty short. Let's sort of look like cross off.
It was looking like it was going to be a good day to run, though.
Yeah.
Like, initial looking at it, you're like, okay, looks fun.
Yeah.
It's not howling onshore.
Yeah. It was, cross offshore. Probably the cleanest waves we'd seen so far, but sometimes you'd almost rather that wind blowing off, like up the back of the wave rather than across the face of it. Just for point breaks especially, you get that little cross chop that just makes life that little bit much more difficult. Two people that will be highly skilled at surfing choppy right points, though, is Geordie Smith and Luke Thompson coming from J-Bay. Those two, again, Geordie's always a standout at this event. He rarely does poorly. He usually at least cracks into past the first few heats. Lukey T, though, someone here was saying to prove, and he's again, you can't start off much better than him. 6'5" against Geordie in pretty challenging waves. At that point, you're thinking he's off to the races, and he kind of was. Geordie couldn't manage much more than a mid-4 for the first part of the heat, and then, as he does, drops the 8-banger on him. Three big turns on. To be fair, I didn't think Geordie surfed this wave overly well, but it was more the size of the wave that I think gave him the grunt of this score. Definitely the best wave surfed at that point and in the heat as it stood anyway. And then quickly backs it up with 6.8. So 14.8, nearly 15 points from the big brew. And the little brew gets sent packing back to Margie's. But again, like Luke's had two really, like, again, a heat that he's put in a good performance regardless. Like, it's going to show on the results list as a second round knockout for him, but he'd be looking across the board going, I'm right in this. I'm in this up to my eyeballs. So,
like he said on our potty that we did with him, if you haven't heard that, go back and have a listen. At this stage for the rookies, if you're posting heat scores above 12, that's just got to give you that boost of confidence that you're eagerly searching for in your first debut.
Definitely.
If you're coming onto the tour, regardless of how well you went on the Changa, and you can only get 4s and 5s for doing pretty good surfing for what you think, it hurts.
100%.
Because it means, okay, I'm not where maybe I kind of just snuck my way through the Challenger Series, and now I'm being like, there's a spotlight on me.
Yeah, and for Lukey T here as well, like, so he's had Geordie's had 17 event appearances at Bells. This is his first, so 17-1 already is just a massive gaping hole there in terms of experience. Average heat score from Geordie across all those events is 14.9.
Yeah, it's
which
incredible.
is mega. Like, it's huge.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, he got 14.8. So he's bang on his average for his career. So maybe our calls of him slowing down actually aren't the case. Maybe he's just exactly where he should be.
Yep.
And look, he's got a heat winning percentage out there across his career of 63%. So if you're coming up against him early, you're really going to have to deliver. And Luke did to a degree, but just it didn't have that knockdown, like, break the brick wall score, you know, like he was sort of in the sixes. You're kind of going to need sevens plus to beat Geordie, I feel. This next heat, Barron and Seth, was one that didn't overly excite me.
It was a low-scoring affair as well.
They're not really Bells, you know, masterminds. They're not the guys that you look at Bells and go, oh, these are the guys I want to watch. They're more so, this is your pipe, your chopes. That's where this heat gets really exciting. Bells is more like, oh, okay. To be fair, they both looked okay. Barron did look better, and hence he wins the heat. I thought Barron may have struggled a bit more than he did, but I watched the replay this heat because I missed it, and he looked quite sharp on the smaller waves he was getting. Board's looking good, so that's a good start for him. They've had 6 total matchups, and this was the 6th, and they're 3 apiece now.
Yeah, so even Stevens.
Even Stevens.
I don't know if there's much to comment on it, though. It was a pretty mundane heat. It was just 2 blokes kind of trying to muscle their way through some sloppy-ish.
Flip a coin on this heat, and you're as good a chance at picking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a very 50-50 heat.
Yeah.
Jakey Marshall, Jiao Chianga, another flip of the coin.
Holy shit, this was close.
Another Jiao Chianga lost by less than half a point.
There's one judge. He just burnt one day.
And
he's just like, I'm fucking giving this guy 0.01 less every time.
100%. Look, Jake is one of the form surfers at Bells and has been over the last few years. So you can never count him out. I feel like that last score for Jiao is a study in body language, and he needed a high 5 on his last wave. And if you're out there, like a young competitive surfer, and you get a wave in the dying stages of a heat, don't look out the back mid-wave.
That is the fastest wave to say, I don't think this is it.
100%. And
if you've lost faith in it yourself, the judges have probably already put the score in.
100%. They're going, well, we're making this really easy for ourselves here because, like, he's now essentially given us the signal, I don't think this is enough at this stage.
Exactly.
This makes it so much easier to put the score in just underneath.
5. If this is an 8, fair game.
Yeah.
You're almost coming in and not even finishing the rest of the wave.
Yeah.
But such an achievable score
100%.
In conditions like that. So
needed a 5.597, gets a 5.77.
It was there.
It was right there. And it could have very easily been the score. It was more just that body language. I feel like maybe the score doesn't go there anyway, but just never a good thing to do.
Well, you'd have to think that time that he is spending looking out to the horizon.
You could be doing another little.
That's one little shitty check turn.
Potentially a wrap.
To just illustrate, I'm fucking hungry. I'm 100%. Eager. And then do your fucking big claim at the end. There's maybe a 0.5 in that. Those 2 things alone, 0.5. Yeah.
And I love Jiao. He's one of my guys that I really enjoy watching, and you
can tell
he's hungry. But it was like it just was maybe a little bit of a brain fade because even if he looks out the back and sees another wave coming, you're out of spot for it now. You've just got to surf what's in front of you at that point. And he did a lot of work on the inside that was maybe just a little bit of an asterisk put on it because he spent a little bit of time just checking out the back, you know.
Yeah.
So,
ouch.
I think again a flip of the coin. Jake probably deserved to win, but in another dimension, Jiao could have won that heat. You know, it's very, very close. The heat of the year, this summer calling.
What? The heat of the year. Fuck, we've only seen about 40 minutes of pro surfing, but anyway.
Exactly. 8 + 7, is that 15? 15
15.
plus 4, 19. We've seen 19 heats. This is the best one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This, I'll call it, has somewhat saved bells thus far in what we've seen.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it was pretty meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
This is round 2, heat 6 with Griffin Colapinto and the wildcard Dane Henry. Finally, some fucking fireworks.
Yeah. And not just saved bells so far, but I think this heat really saved Griffin's world title campaign for this year. And I think if he does end up winning the title, he can look back at this heat at the start there and go, that's potentially where it was won and lost, because slow lineup, waves, as we've touched on many times, not great. Dane gets an 8 on his first wave and then gets a 7 before Griffin posts anything significant. So he's already got 15 points on him.
I think you forgot that Griffin got second in the world last year and nearly got cut. So
Yeah, yes.
hypothetically,
Yeah,
it would spin that
100%.
the other way.
And in saying that as well, like obviously it didn't matter so much last year because they have to go and do the final 5. But
Yeah.
in a year like this year where it's cumulative points,
Yep.
that's huge. So
Fair.
having 15 points put on you in a lineup that's slow is almost a death sentence. You're just going, well, it doesn't matter really what I do from here. It's going to be very hard to claw this one back. He did it. He went 8-1-3, 7-1-3, came off the back of Dane's claim, which everyone's going, oh, he fired Griffin up. I don't think that was the case. I think what happened was Dane was probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 meters away from Griffin. Griffin wasn't even looking at him claiming the wave. I think it just was, Griffin's got that little bit of ability in him to rise to the occasion, and it showed here. And many of the other surfers, I'm talking probably 90+% of the other surfers in this draw wouldn't have come back from that deficit.
Oh, it would have been melting like a gummy bear dropped on the pavement just in the hot summer sun, just melting, oozing into the concrete. You would have to think that his spirituality and his Zen yoga-ish mindset, if there's anyone out there that's doubting that, which probably us now that I think about it, going back through
Definitely
the
us.
other episodes, that is the proof in the pudding, you'd have to say. Composure to the T.
There's summon in it potentially. Nevertheless, he gets the job done. I do want to say to Dane in this one, he was in my fantasy team. I did pick him, and I think he's cherry ripe for this tour. To have
looking pretty good.
He's lacking a bit, and his surfing in waves of consequence isn't there yet, but he's so ready to take on the world's best, and he showed that here. You don't put 15 points on Griffin Colapinto if you're not up for the challenge, and he did it. He did it quite easily. Like he never looked challenged at any point. Everything he went for, he landed. It was just the waves that Griffin was able to find later. He just clutched up and did what he did, but Dane couldn't really have done much more in this heat. And yeah, it's basically for him. That's got to be another confidence boost and something that tells him he's meant to be on the world stage. And I don't think it's going to be long.
I think he described it as the best loss he's ever had, which makes perfect sense. You hit the nail on the head. This is just the beginning of the Dane Henry show. Just an exciting surfer. The fact that when he takes off, you don't know what's going to happen is so refreshing to see.
Definitely.
We see a lot of these guys kind of get stuck in that grindy mindset. Like, I've just got to get to the end, build the house, and it works. But to see the young lad come out and just go, oh, fuck it, going for it, balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Which is actually his strength, might I add.
Yeah.
To go on the rail against Griff out there would have been tough.
Yeah.
Which was evident on that first turn before the punt for Griff. Fuck, it was massive.
Yeah. Bit of talk as well around this one. Result correct. I think it was. I think who was it?
It was, I'd say 2/3 of the responses on our post that we did about it were pro Griff. But considerably, there were a fair few people that were flying the Dano flag for the win in this heat.
100%. And it was, I just want to find the comment because it was a really good one. Jimmy Kane. If it's close to a coin flip, I think the standard should always be the tour first, then the wild card. And I think that's right. I think if it's a 50-50 between a tour surfer and a wild card, I think you just got to give the tour surfer the nod in that scenario because they've earned their place on tour, and And that's such a swing result there for Griff. If he loses that heat, he's on par with Ethan, who's going to be right up there challenging this year, you'd imagine, for that title. Griffin's now out. Ethan's now out and Griffin's still going.
Yeah.
So immediately he's putting pressure on Ethan.
I think there was another comment that I really liked as well, which is the result tends to sway towards the person who come back.
Yes.
Who had to overcome some sort of challenge.
100%.
It's like every storyline out of Hollywood movies. Like the good guy always looks like he's about to die and then he comes out swinging.
How often do we see like heats turned at the buzzer as well? Happens all the time. And
people actually enjoy it whether they consciously know it or not.
Yeah.
Everyone is always kind of rooting for the underdog.
Yeah.
It's just hard because the underdog is technically Dane Henry in this heat.
Yeah.
But Griff and the situation he was in at the halfway point became the underdog.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what happened, and he dug his way out of it. So good on you, Griff. Last heat they ran of the day, you got a feel for Cole here in the waves that they were presented with. Just Alejo is someone that he's retired. He's done at the end of this year. So
the earliest retirement ever in history.
He retired before the season started, which I kind of...
Which made us say that he was done for this year, but it turns out he's not.
No.
A bit like the WSL maternity wildcards announced last year for
next
2 years' time.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
So this heat here, on any other day, you have to imagine Cole waxes him.
Oh, you'd think so.
Just, yeah.
Looking at the conditions, like that little Energizer bunny of Alejo Menez can actually fucking do it.
That's where he comes in. That's his style of surfing, those waves. And you look at the heat win percentage over their career. So Alejo Menez 5 to Cal's 3. Alejo's got a heat win percentage of 33%. Cole's is 67%. So over double.
And Alejo would have more reps on the board, right?
5 to 3. So that does sort of go in Cole's favour slightly because there's less appearances. But Cole's a champion here. You don't really expect a Bell's champion to be losing to someone like Alejo Menez in the first round.
But believable when you see the waves.
When you see the waves, that's where you kind of understand it. Again, not a whole heap to touch on here. Alejo just picked the eyeballs out of the lineup. Cole looked maybe a little bit disinterested at times, and fair enough. When you're 6 foot bloody 100 and you weigh 300 kilos and you got a friggin' lion paint on your surfboard, you want to unleash and you can't do it on a wave that
you got about 4 kilos of hair paint.
Yeah. So he's a big guy,
big lad.
That's where we got to.
That's the wrap up of Bells thus far.
Yep. So we'll go through maybe now heat 8. We can see who's going to be surfing. So we'll go to a little maybe our selections.
Sorry, before we do that.
Yep.
Can you go on your fantasy and see how many points you got?
All right. I'm on 226 points.
Fucking sphincter.
What are you on?
208.
How many surfers you got left?
So Ethan Ewing out, Griffin's still in, Morgan still in, Sammy Pupo's still in because I haven't surfed.
Yeah.
Callum Robson out, Liam O'Brien out, and then for the women's.
So you've got 3 men.
3 men. Only one has surfed.
Yeah.
I've got on the women's side. I have 3 left.
I have 3 also. So I've got Philippe, I've got Crosby and Sammy. But the advantage here for me is that Philippe's my power surfer. Yeah. So that's going to go down pretty well for you.
Although technically they haven't surfed.
They haven't surfed, but I'm already ahead of you on points and I've got my power surfer in play. And then also on the ladies' side, I've got Gabby Bryan, Molly Picklum, and Carissa Moore. And Molly's my power surfer. I think you've lost your ladies' power surfer too, correct?
Correct, Steph Gilmore.
Yeah,
the only way I can win this thing is if you go terrible right now and Caitlin Simmons wins.
Yeah. Yes. But I'm pretty confident. Let's go and look at these heats, though.
Sure.
Maybe important for some if you were investing or whatever. We'll go and do our picks for who we think's going to win the next few heats. We're looking at probably a fun-sized day at Winky Pop tomorrow. So, with that in consideration, Kanoa versus Morgan. I think personally, this is one of those where you just look at maybe a little bit of value among the unfavored surfer in the heat, which I imagine would be Morgan. I think Kanoa would be probably favored just based on their matchup last year too.
Yep.
Canola.
Fuck, that's a really hard one, but I'm going to go Morgs.
I think Morgs is looking really good again this year. Yago Dora, Mateus. I kind of like Mateus again.
I like Mateus. If it's small and fast,
Mm.
Winky's pretty fast. Can be hard to read on your back end if it's small.
Yeah.
When it's a bit bigger, it kind of slows up a bit.
Yeah.
That could be pretty dangerous for Mateus.
I just like his career stats too. He's got 100% heat win percentage at Bells. So
Great. Yep. How do you go past that?
Yeah. I'll lock in Mateus there, but I mean that's a hard heat to pick because Yago's going to he's going to be throwing down one of those big back-end rotators at some point. So
Yep.
you need Mateus to do probably 2.
Yep.
Crosby, Marco.
Speaking of rotators,
Yeah.
Marco is most certainly going to do a flat spin air reverse out into the flats.
He's going to do 2.
Yep.
And 1 on each wave, and he's going to get 2 pretty big scores. In saying it, I think Crosby's going to have enough girth in his turns to...
Crosby will, yeah.
Crosby's going to get the job done there.
So if it's small, maybe not.
I still think he's just got a little bit extra in him. And I think it's going to be sort of 3 foot still, so big enough.
Yep.
Leo and Cowley Vars. So Leo's our little golden cherry in these events, and I do like to go to him in the challenging conditions. Cowley may struggle. He's a bigger frame too, like someone like Cole. Not as big, but he's still a bigger frame. May struggle in that down the line sort of winky.
100%. If we were looking at 6 foot Bells bowl, I'd be saying Cowley's going to definitely put it to Leo, but I think Leo's going to run away with that one.
Does the 25% heat percentage of Leo at Bells, heat win percentage, put you off at all?
No.
No.
Leo's going to run away with that heat.
I think so too. Philippe Toledo, Eli Hanneman.
Wow, the midgets go fucking head to head. That's like an average height of 4'11".
This will be the heat of the round for me because I think Philippe's going to go nuts in this one.
I think so
Winky. Eli's got that rotation in him for sure, but I think Philippe's is just a little bit faster, a little bit.
They're pretty even Stevens in the air.
Yeah.
But if Philippe can find a clean wall to belt, holy shit, like the power difference between Eli and Philippe are going to be chalk and cheese.
Lights out.
Yep.
Xavier Huxtable, Italo Ferreira.
Oh, this is such a good heat.
This is the rematch.
Oh, you got to go Zave.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Zave just for moral support.
Yep.
You know,
I just want to see Italo drive away
Italo's
really fast and he's Ford Ranger again.
I think he's going to be really tough to beat.
And the people will want Zave to win because I was there last year at Jack Pub.
Yeah.
And
went off.
The man can drink.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Zave.
Yeah.
And he will be shouting a few Jackie Dans or Bundy Rums or something. I think he's a Bundy man.
Yeah, okay. Oh, is he?
I think he was a Bundy man.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was a Bundy Rum.
Bundy Rum punching mum.
Yeah, on the fire juice.
Okay, we'll go Zave.
Yep.
Asterisk, so Italo's going to be tough to beat, but Zave.
Sure.
Medina and Al Cleland.
Medina is going to smoke Al.
I've seen this story before, and Al, you just don't think he's anywhere near it. And he comes
Medina
out.
looks so fucking spicy in those free surf clips that I was watching. I think, yeah, I've got Medina.
Yeah, okay.
Taking the win there.
I'll also put Medina in. Rio and Connor. Got to go Connor. Although your fantasy team could be looking a bit worse for wear if Connor wins.
I didn't pick either.
You picked Rio, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't pick Rio?
I swapped.
Okay, good.
I really want to say, like, if it's 2 foot and under, Rio's going to be really hard to beat.
He is.
Padma fucking Shorey just coming to life. If there's 3 foot and Connor can find one wave that allows him to go square, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Going to be lights out. So I'm actually really hard to...
I'm going to go Connor here.
I'm going to go Connor because I think it's going to be bigger than 3 foot.
Yeah, and then...
2 foot.
The hardest heat of the round to pick, I'd say, Jack Robinson, Sammy Pupo.
We're going to be going complete opposite here, aren't we?
No, I've got Sammy.
I've got Sammy.
He's in my fantasy team. It'd be rude to...
He's just got that slight, a little touch more speed.
Yeah.
Than Jack.
Yeah.
But Winky's definitely going to pay off.
Yeah. We won't bother going through round 3 yet because we haven't even friggin' finished round 2. There's a few round 3 matchups already locked in, but no point yet.
We got women's.
Let's do women's. So bracket stage.
Backhand attacker.
I'm gonna go Alyssa Spencer, that little value pick.
I'm going to go Caroline Marks.
Okay.
I think she's come out swinging, but I don't think she's going to have it against Caroline.
Betty Lewin and Nat.
I'm going to go on that.
I'm gonna go. If they run tomorrow at Winky, I'm gonna go Betty Lou. I think could be a bit tough for a Nat on the back end.
True.
I'm gonna go Betty.
Yep.
Heat 3, Gabby Bryan, Francisca Vaselko.
I'm going to go Vaselko.
I'm going to go Gabby. Tyler Wright, Luana Silva, Heat 4. This is a really tough one.
I'm going to go Tyler.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tyler too. Molly Picklum, Sally Fitz.
Fuck. I want to say Molly, but like I feel like Sally might just train like Sally and fucking boost mobile it up and go fucking kind of crazy. But I'm going to go with my gut and say Molly Picklum.
We should do like a moral each event, like a moral bet, or not a bet, but like a moral pick.
A gut and then a statistic one.
Yeah, like no, but like one that if you lose, something horrific happens to you. Like you pick one as your moral, and I want this to be my moral.
I'm already fucking losing the fantasy. I don't know if there's anything else.
Maybe don't need stakes on it, but this is as moral as a moral bet gets. Molly Picklum wins this one.
Yeah,
quite easily. Erin Brooks, Lakey Peterson.
Oh man, I'm gonna go Lakey.
I'm gonna Erin. I think we've picked nearly different picks at each one, but I'm gonna go Erin on the just how quick she is.
I'm changing.
Who to?
Erin Brooks.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be really fast at Winky Pop on her back end.
The reason why I said I didn't think she would is because she says she doesn't really like spending much time at Bells.
Right.
But if it's
like
not at Bells,
Spelma.
no, I think it's more the wave.
Yeah, okay.
She said it doesn't suit her surfing. I couldn't agree more. It's a fat, slopey wave.
It's like she doesn't really fit into the face properly.
She is the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, she's too small and whippy for that wave.
And on your backhand.
It's fat and roll in. You kind of want to do a sharp turn. You can't.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep. So that was the only reason why I went Lakey, and I thought maybe a little bit of headspace stuff here. She's never really had a good result. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Lakey?
No, Erin. What was it? She went bad last year.
She's had 2 event appearances here. She has a heat win percentage of 0%.
There you go.
So
that kind of scared me. But this could be the event where she breaks that and goes into at least 1%.
Yeah. Katie Simmers, Nadia Aristabe. This is actually like Katie should win this.
Katie's going to win that.
Katie should win this, but Nadia, if she picks the right waves.
Nadia's surfing was pretty suited to Belle's bowl, a bit slower, but if Winky's running and it's 3 foot, she's not going to be able to find the pace of the wave to slow down and really go 12 o'clock.
And back to back as well.
Yep. So Katie's got that one.
Katie for me also, and last heat. This is actually quite a tough one. Izzy Nichols, Carissa Moore.
Carissa Moore.
I think I'll go Carissa too. I think we'll go Carissa.
I feel like she might have dusted off the cobwebs on the first heat, and now she's like, found my feet. Here we go.
Maybe we'll see the world champ. The world champ just come back out.
Yep. That's our picks.
That's our picks for the next round. Fantasy obviously still going, so we'll revisit that at the end. Now we've got an awful lot of questions here to get through.
Sam Cam Man. Who is the contest director for Bells? Did they mess up not running the first 2 days at Winky? I think that's Renato who's in charge of that call. I do know that they consult Adam Robbo, who is a fucking genius down there. So I have full faith.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me there. Full faith in Adam Robbo. But I do know that he advises. He's not actually
the guy,
the one who presses green for go and red for no.
Mm-hmm.
I think, maybe they did blow not running the first day.
Yeah. Cam McDougall. Has the WSL got the poo forecast curse again?
I think it's all signs are definitely looking like that. And the reason I say that, the warm-up 2-3 days before Bell's waiting period started was best evers.
Yeah.
Dan Scott put on his story, A++. Like, it was phenomenal sunset. That always helps.
Yeah.
It was a Largo.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I think we might be seeing that, especially because Snapper's already lit up.
Yeah.
Like Snapper's been pumping for so long that it might just start to go quiet.
Yeah.
Tanner Jones, Hughes. Who has the biggest chopper on tour?
I don't know. You got any insights on that?
What's the chopper?
I think it's your little Roger.
What, Willie?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It'd have to be Ramsey Bukaim.
Yeah.
Big lad.
Or Cole,
Big chopper.
Cole maybe.
Cole could have a honker. Not sure. Anyway, chopper might even mean Todge.
No,
I don't
definitely means Todge. Tom Holder. Would Bells be on tour if it wasn't an original tour stop?
Negative.
And that's probably what we need to touch on there.
Kenny Oborn.
Go on.
Can you please review the Road Train 10's single fin from drag? It would be highly amusing.
The 10-foot single fin. That sounds more up your alley, mate.
I'll give it a go.
It sounds like something you'd ride.
Yep, Benny, can you pay for it? And then
yeah.
I'll do it.
Archie Harrow, Ewing must be... No, he didn't say this, but it makes it better. Ewing must be spewing. He said Ethan must be
Good
spewing.
play.
But
Good play.
thank you.
Yeah, you'd have to think that's a Debbie Downer.
That's a shocker.
Although they're both out, him and Sawyer. So maybe they're just enjoying, I don't know, surrounds, playing golf.
Yep.
See the sights, go into the city. James T. Parker 1. Thoughts on Bell's heats in pretty grindy conditions and losing someone like Ethan in it. My thoughts are it sucks.
No, I don't. Again, it's hard to be critical of the calls made because the forecast window isn't amazing.
No, they're trying to get through what they've been dealt with.
They're working with what they've got. Admittedly, they probably stuffed up on day one, but that's in the past now. But I think it probably would have been decided in fairly grindy conditions regardless. But yeah, don't love the idea of guys like Ethan and Cole and that losing this early on, just purely based on the waves. But in saying that, I don't want to discredit anything George has done either, because if the waves were good, he could beat Ethan also. It's not like a foregone conclusion that Ethan was definitely going to win that heat.
Nah.
So George is good enough.
It was a good matchup.
Yeah. Archie Harrow again. The WSL new schedule doesn't line up nicely with swell months. What do you reckon? Haven't actually put much time into thinking about that. I think they've followed a fairly.
I think that's a pretty good time.
I guess they just have to work everything out when it makes sense at that time. And I guess it sounds like that guy did that pretty cool animation. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And it seemed like it was like not peak wave period, but like either side of the bell curve.
Yeah.
So
you're talking about betting on the weather here, so there is no right answer.
Yeah.
There never will be.
Yeah.
You just got to kind of cop what you're given. But I wouldn't say this is a bad time of year.
Yeah.
If Bells and Snapper and Margies were in September, October, November, be pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
But Easter time, May's pretty good.
Yeah.
For most of the east coast of Australia, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Jules McCarthy, what's Finley's thoughts on his treasured Jow getting knocked out first heat?
Yeah, I'm sad, but I can. Again, it's just.
I love that he said treasured. That's amazing.
The point two loss again. It just sums up his career so far. I can't really say much on it. I do like Jow, and I want him to do well because I think he's more than deserving of being a top 10 surfer.
Yep.
Jack Bain won. Anyone going to do a 2014 Rayoni Montero and not win a CET heat this season?
Fuck me, Rayoni Montero. What a throwback.
He
was a unit.
Yeah.
Imagine punching him.
His big old boy.
He'd
snap you in half, mate.
You'd bounce off. You'd punch him and you'd fall over.
Yeah.
Huge bloke.
Anyone not winning a heat this year?
Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Yo-Yo has no go-go.
I don't think... I think everyone will make a heat at some stage. I don't think no one's...
Well, Rayoni thought the same thing.
No, but like with this new setup, I just feel like they're going to have opportunity to make heats. And Yolanda's... You say Yolanda, but she's going to put up 10 points in every heat. And one of these heats, someone's going to put up 6 points and she's going to win. You know,
Yeah.
I think everyone will win at least one heat this year. Ideally, as a professional surfer, you want to make more than one heat though. Like I'm not saying everyone.
Well, Nadia didn't win a heat last year.
Yeah, but remember we had like the cut off as well. Like Raoni's is more applicable because he probably did a whole season, whereas this is like
True. I don't think we've seen that in a long time.
yeah.
Charlie Winkworth. What does winning the GWM car for the Aussies treble do for non-Aussie surfers?
Yeah.
That sounds like a headache.
Does
They have to organise a car they don't want. That's probably not applicable to be driven in your own country,
yeah.
especially for Americans.
Surely there's a cash, like it's either like car or you can take the cash. Maybe.
Probably not.
No?
It wouldn't be equal value.
No, you'd probably get more value out of the car, but if you were offered say 30 grand cash rather than a car.
It wouldn't be 30 because the car's worth 30.
Is that all they cost?
GWM tank.
Really?
That's what they should be.
True. Okay.
Anyway.
Jack Bugro, and I'm so sorry if I've butchered your surname again, Jack there, but is Parker Coffin one of the most underrated surfers out there?
Yep.
I think so.
Yep. That wave he got at fucking Indo? Was it Indo?
He's had a couple.
No, sorry, Cloudy.
Fiji, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Jay Wadana. Dane robbed? Question mark.
No, don't think so.
Nah. I honestly, both heats, I thought there was a little bit of GST on Dano.
Sure. The
I
wild.
don't think he'll care for me to say that because even he came in and did an interview with Warner and he said, 8.5, fuck, I'll take that.
Yeah.
He didn't even think the 8.5 was an 8.5, so.
Imagine being in a tour heat and like it going the other way. You'd probably normally be going like, oh, that's a 6, and they read the score, it's a 4.5. And you're like, oh no. But he's gone, oh, it's a 7, and they've gone, oh, it's an 8.5. You're just going, oh, okay.
Take it and run.
George Mountjoy, what's your vision for the Largo podcast?
Oh, Georgie, great question.
It's a great question.
Very stoic question for you.
I think you said it well this morning with Claudio, and it was make enough from the pod that we can essentially surf for a living.
Yeah, we don't want Maseratis.
No, I think as long as we can...
I'll take one if Maserati's listening, but we just want to do fun shit.
Yeah.
Like, the more I'm learning about life is it's a very long ladder, and the top always looks good, but most people it's an unteachable lesson. You got to get to the top to find out that it's not all glory, but
just do enough.
Have fun.
To get by and enjoy it. And
if we can get paid to have fun, then I feel like that's fucking everyone's goal in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have fun when we're surfing. Like this morning, we went surfing together. It was fun.
Yeah.
That's it. If we can make money doing that and other things on the side, then fuck, big tick.
Yeah. I love as well this morning that it was you dragging me out there into surf. So
you're in a bit of a hole.
Pretty poor waves, and then we get out there, and I kind of could foresee this happening. It went from you dragging me out there, and then all of a sudden you're the one starting to kick stones and out there and start throwing your little...
I connected with one left that kept me happy for the rest of the surf.
I saw a few little hand gestures and a few body language.
Because there was good waves around. I was like, I'm not on any of these good waves.
Yeah.
Jai Kugale?
Sure.
Kugale? Jai Kugale. What the fuck happened at Bells? Inflated forecasts, the seeds that fell further survived. Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. The forecast generally tends to be inflated. I find it's always looked better than it is.
Season as well.
Yeah, I think it just was very much a dicey lineup where not necessarily the best surfer won. It was whoever found the one good wave in the heat or that found themselves in the right rhythm. Especially at Bells, it's somewhere that you can really get out of rhythm, and especially when the waves suck like that.
Yep.
Pano Inglesio. What's your take? Glass on fins, first fin systems.
I haven't surfed glass in fins for a long time, but I know they go really well. Traveling with them sucks balls.
Yeah.
I would rather have the ability to travel with a good surfboard than not.
100%. Wilson Sword, I think.
Wilson Sword. Yep.
Thoughts on how Medina will perform at Bells? We kind of touched on that before. Zach's pretty high on him, so
really good.
We'll see.
Chris Opia. What do you reckon of Snapper at the end of the Oz leg? Surely bring it back to the OG 100%.
I like it. It's just it's got to the Bells event's always on over Easter long weekend.
The Bells is always Easter, so it has to be before that.
Yeah.
And if it was before that, they would have scored. So
Yeah.
would have been happy days.
We're not going to read out Shannon's question because it's not it's not one really we need to. Calvin Greeley, should Griff have beat Dane?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Carl Rogers, why did the cop? We've kind of done a few of these similar ones. We'll skip the ones that we've already sort of answered. Sonny Maestri is even going to have another year of inconsistency. I think yes. Zach?
Will Ethan have another year of inconsistency? No.
Okay.
No, he will not.
You think so? Well, after this event, it's just always on the up?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Hello, I am Joe. Hot take, is Bells the worst event? Yes, it's boring and the waves are always trash. He's answered his own question.
He's answered his own question. That's how good Hello, Jane, I am Joe is.
Yeah.
He answered his own question.
Pretty similar response.
Kurt Johnson, 35. Who's taking out the heat between you two?
Which
Well,
heat?
based upon today, Finley won the heat. I got the... No, I didn't get the best wave.
Can I just say that a hell one came through? Like, easily the best wave I saw come through this morning. And I looked at Zach because I could see where his eyes were going. And I didn't have priority, mind you. I'd just taken off on a wave. We were sat there. And I've looked at Zach and gone, you better not be going left, because it was the best looking right I've ever seen out this joint. Like, it was such good shape. And he just went, I'm going left. And I went, all right, thank you. I went, right, it was my best wave. Thank you.
I did
for
a
that.
bottom turn and it spat. And I went, I've misjudged this wave.
The right was pretty good.
And I fell off after that.
We need to do some heats. We've talked about it. We're going to do some more content like that. We just need time. We've got a bit more time now. We just need some beach time.
Yes.
And a filmer.
We do need a full-time filmer.
Yeah.
With
That's our
no
hardest,
money.
That's our hardest challenge. We need a filmer.
Frankie, why does Zach hate Yolanda so much? I don't hate her. Truthfully, looking down at the camera now, I don't hate anyone. I wish the best for everyone. I just don't think she's world tour quality.
Yep.
And I'm just not afraid to call that out. And I think that's fair. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yep.
And I'll leave it at that.
Sweet. Billy Snowden, 2 World Champ predictions. We've done that already in the
2
massive
episodes ago.
the 3-hour marathon. I had Griff. You had Ethan, I believe. That's where we left it.
Yep. Mentawi.
Now we need to.
no.
You need to
Mentawi.
send us the pronunciation of it, because
Matawai.
I think it's Matawai.
I just started by saying Mentawi, but it's Matawai
Scarvellis. I'm assuming that's it, right?
Scarvellis. That's a beautiful name.
It is.
Thoughts on Hausman losing to the shittest surfer on the CT?
It's a great question. I think shouldn't have happened really, but it was the cards he was dealt, and it really paid into Alejo's favour. So good on Alejo there. Reclaim Surf, Dane and Griff so close. Yep. Is there remember my name claim actually a thing outside of surfing? I assume
think
that's
so.
like a more like sport, has a bit more bravado about it, like football or NFL or something. I feel like that's where it would be.
He called it the Kudrin Crunch. I'm not really sure why.
The Cushion Crunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from, that's his local football club, so
Okay.
gonna go there. So
And then Fletchico, last one. Give the new fantasy format a score from 1 to 10.
the
Format's fine, I think.
few cookies or bugs
Yeah.
that need to be addressed, but any hoozle.
I think the app is the main issue. I think the actually accessing it is no good. I think the format's pretty good.
I like the format.
I did like having a couple extra selections last year, but maybe that was me because I want my team to maybe not have to make I might not have to make some such hard predictions before the event, and not pick someone that I wanted to. Tier B was a tough one this year, trying to pick out. There's so many surfers in it, and you got to pick 2 from it. It's a tough one, but I'll give it. I mean, I think there's room for improvement. I'll give it a 7.
I was going to say a 7.
Yeah. All right.
That's all our listener cues, but what we will do is leave you a little sneaky excerpt of an interview we just did.
We jumped on a call with Cam and Rory from Alto
Pro AM.
They're doing the Alto Pro AM, which is happening over the Anzac Day long weekend. If you're in the Sydney Northern Beaches,
Which is most people listening right now.
I'd suggest going and checking it out down at Bungan there, because there's some pretty the surfing's going to be cool, but I think the off-field activity is going to be even better. Some
Your
DJ
liver is going to hate you.
It's about 3 day lineup of activities, 4-day lineup. So after parties, all that, and yeah, you can go and get amongst it. So go and check that out. Zach will be there. Absolutely.
Putting the rashy on.
He's ripping.
I'm actually genuinely nervous. I've done a few like teams events, but not an individual heat since 2017.
Okay. That's right. It's not the most serious of events. I'm sure you'll handle it. You just need to go and buy yourself some ankle length boardies. That's the first thing you need to do.
I know where I can get some.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks
we'll
so
leave you
much.
with that little interview now.
Yeah, we'll leave you with it. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.
Bon voyage.